Adding categories and tags to your posts is done from the post editor. Because categories are mandatory, they appear first in the right-hand sidebar directly here under the post formats, which I've collapsed. Out of the gate, you only have one category called uncategorized. This is because every post must belong to a category, and WordPress doesn't know anything about how you want to organize your content, so uncategorized is the only option. What you see here is that I've added a couple of extra categories in between the movies, so I also have a category called events, one called news, and one called promotions. But if you don't assign a category to your post, it will always automatically be set to the default category, which out of the box is uncategorized. Now, uncategorized is obviously not a good category to use, so you need to know how to make new categories. For example, the post I'm currently writing is about the history of the company, so it would make sense to create a category called history. I can do this by simply clicking the Add New Category button under the main category lists. When I click this button, I get a new field that opens up, and here I can type in history and make that the new name of my category. Once I'm done making the category, I'll click Add New Category. It automatically gets added in and floated up to the top of my list. Now I have two categories applied to my post, history and uncategorized. Since I no longer need uncategorized for this post, I'll uncheck it. So now the post is only categorized as history. Now you can also create parent-child relationships between your posts. So for example, if I want to create a new category called recent history, I could simply type in recent history and then use this drop down underneath to set history as the parent. This would create a new category that belongs under history. And what would happen is, if you go to the front end and you go and look at the category index for history, you will get all the articles that are either categorized as history or as recent history. However, if you look at the index for recent history, you would only get the posts categorized under recent history. That's how the hierarchy works, and that's why the hierarchy is important to understand. But for now, we're going to leave it at just history. Now, if you have a lot of categories, and there are some you use a lot more than others, you can use this most used tab. Now, right now, that doesn't really make any sense in my example because I don't have a lot of categories yet. But as you start using your site more and more and categorizing more and more posts, you will see a curated list of your categories here. Tags are quite different. They're free text based, meaning you type in whatever tag you want to apply to your post and then comma separate them, and then you can add them in bulk. If the tag you type in already exists, let's say vitamin, you'll see that WordPress will try to help you by showing the existing categories they've already created. But if you add something new, WordPress says nothing. Once you've added your comma separated list of tags, you simply click Add, and you can see all of these tags appear down here underneath. And if you want to remove them, you have to click this little red X next to each of the tags to take them away. Now there's an important thing to remember about tags. Tags are case sensitive. That means I already have a tag called vitamins, but if I go in here and I say vitamins, and I type it out with a capitalized V and then add it, I would now have two tags. One that's called vitamins capitalized, and one that's called vitamins uncapitalized. So when you're making tags, make sure that you're consistent in how you write them out, and also make sure when WordPress tries to help you to use existing tags rather than constantly adding new ones that look almost the same.